This lady, Anne, in February of 1994, shows up at my house over in San Francisco and says, "We'd like you to be on this board." And I thought, well, that sounds really good. I was restless. I had taken an early retirement from the Arts Commission and decided, this sounds like fun. Besides, I was one of 2 members of our board who actually attended the fair. Is there anybody here at all who has attended the fair? Yay! Okay, good. And so I had, really fond memories. So I said yes. And, I went to the first meeting in March, and they said, oh, by the way, we're supposed to close in September. The fact is that it was a going operation, but the Navy said, we have to be out of here in 1997, and we're going to start by closing you. Well, Anne and I and John Carroll, who joined a few people with new ideas, came on the board and said, we're going to keep this somehow open. And we did for 3 years until 1997 when the whole island closed. But those 3 years were so exciting. I mean, I tell you, I came over here and seeing all these exhibits brought back my memories, and my very young childhood memories of the fair was lovely. Moving along here, we realigned. So we now had a board, and comes October 1, which is, as we all know now for sure, October 1 is the beginning of the new fiscal year, we're on our own. They ran a gift shop, they did the docents, they built things, they put in lighting, and they ran this store. This was out where there's now a hot dog and chorita wagon, and we sold a lot of film and cameras in the pre-digital days to take pictures of the wonderful view and made money that way. We have a gift store right inside this lobby there. We hung on. We were able to raise money. Zodell gave us generously. We had a big press conference over in City Hall with Mayor Jordan. It was in the newspaper, giving a big check to the museum. We hired a fellow by the name of Art Blum who did a lot of stuff, and it was absolutely crazy, but we did some stuff. We just kept trying to keep this place open. But in the meantime, we kept going, and we really were, you should know how the museum functioned. First of all, we had a complete museum staff. For those of you who weren't here in those days, you should know this was really a functioning full-time museum. This entire floor was filled. This is the Fresnel, I love this Fresnel lens, and the only thing I want to add is that it's so perfectly engineered that you see there's ball bearings on it. I could take the little finger of my left hand and I'm right hand and go like that, and the thing just started to move around. The children adored this when they came on our children's tours. Oh. From then on in, we struggled. We were in exile. So the onward time goes on, and then one day, for some reason, the Treasure Island Development Authority, which was now in charge, and the Navy had gone, said we want all the people who are on the island to have some kind of a day for a reception for the residents who live here, so they can find out about the island. The yacht club didn't quite know what to do, but they said, why don't you do something with us? And we did this wonderful we had a display, and this was our very first History Day, and we called it History Day. We had, a DVD, and we became so friendly with the yacht club. Their Commodore got on our board. He had a wonderful radio personality. He was a great addition, Desmond Thorson, and we started having our annual meetings and even our monthly meetings. And then something really exciting happened. 2008, 11 years after we left this building, we heard from the Treasure Island Development Authority. Said, how would you like to move back into the building? That was just a miracle, 11 years. And so a moving day in June of 2008. And we had our stuff in storage for years in San Francisco. And we went over, one day we went, and people like Anne and some of our people, they'd had babies the last year we were at the museum, and suddenly their 10-year-old kids showed up to help us move. What a time warp. And here we are in our new room with our new digs, celebrating that we've moved, and we had a big barbecue and picnic out by the yacht club on those tables as we moved our stuff back in. That you can look at the smiles on our faces. I mean, we did all this work ourselves. And I remember we're sitting on these steps over here talking about this exhibit, and Mimi said, these are great what you're doing, but you really need some great big banners over here. How are you going to get people to walk across? With that, a whole new face came to our museum. And we were told this would only stay up for 6 months, and you notice it's still here 5 years later because it's so successful. So I thank you so much, and on to our next speaker. Thank you very much. Thank you.